Well, again, I wouldn't normally do this here, but since the last one went so well, and since the thing I'm going to talk about is kind of sad, we're going to do that again. So, yeah. And that's just a little towel there, just so any of that does not go on there. So let's start with what we've seen over the past few weeks, not past few weeks, but the past few days rather. We go past few weeks just because of the Hurricane Sandy bullshit. I shouldn't say bullshit, but the thing that happened in that way. And next we'll get to that later. And excuse me if that is loud. This will come off a lot easier this time around. There we go. It probably won't go the first few strokes, but it will. But anyway, with what we've seen over the past few days, and honestly I was on a bus when this happened, and I am still very sad about it, with the shooting that happened at a Connecticut school. I think ironically it was a Sandy something elementary. I don't remember the exact name, and I apologize off the top of my head, but it was something like that. It was Sandy something. But pretty much in a nutshell, think of what happened in Columbine a few years ago. I think that was 94, but yeah, 94. But what happened in Columbine with what happened with that? It was a lot of a smaller number, but the incidents are still pretty much the same, and people that were in that incident are kind of in that same boat. And when they saw this happen that day, it was kind of bringing back memories for them. And with what I'm actually going to change right here with this, the other one. That'll be a lot better to get this. There we go. But with what's been going on lately with the shootings in Connecticut, it's been honestly really sad to see all of that, and what was going on lately in that case, which we'll get to later. But what happened originally was people first thought that the 21-year-old that shot himself shot a good 14, 15, 20 children and a handful of adults. Or it's probably the other way around, but it was mostly children from what I recall that were shot. Originally was going to kill his father, but it wasn't his father. Later confirmed a few days later that it was just the mother that was shot, which I think is even worse. Which both are pretty bad, but you shoot your own mother, get a gun from her personal gun case, which should have been secured a lot better in my opinion, and drives her car to the school where she probably worked as a substitute teacher, and went and killed a bunch of little children in elementary school. Then killed himself. And, well, the rest is history there. Now, some people are saying that the reason is he had Asperger's. Well, quite frankly, I have Asperger's, and you don't really see me killing people or threatening people. But when I do, it's in character as Adam Extreme. And that's a whole different situation compared to this, because you cannot just blame it on autism or Asperger's or anything on the autism spectrum, because there's a bunch of other mental issues that kid could have had. Because obviously there's bipolar, there's what I like to call Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, otherwise known as multiple personality disorder. And see me just getting that part done. But with all kinds of others, like I already said, bipolar, and of course mental retardation, and any kind of mental issue where your mental faculties are not in order, will cause an issue, let alone should not be allowed to hold a gun. Actually looks pretty good, to be honest. And with what's been going on lately, and with what's been said, you really cannot blame it on that. You can also blame it on the people that sold the guns. Because we do a background check, but we also don't do a very good one. Because you could also check criminal records, you could also check medical records, you could also check any kind of thing to make sure that the person you're selling the gun to and that is registered in their name should not be a crazy person. But then you cannot tell because one day they might be the nicest guy in the world and they might be a fucking psycho the next day. Which is really sad, but can easily be done. But with that being said, and more importantly, there's so many ways you can do this. You can even get security done. And I'm just messing with this while I'm talking here. But you could get a bunch of security. People have said over the years not to get things like metal detectors, which have worked in the past. Things like, just beeping security around the school, because there's security that go around the school, but actually inside the school will be a little better. Or even just, like, if, for example, some colleges have police. I wouldn't say go that far, but if it does get to that point, you head to an issue where that has happened a lot, like a Columbine, like a place in Newark. That's where the school was, from what I remember. And much like a lot of things going on, you need proper security. Like other world countries are making the best of this and have guns for their teachers, for their staff, and there is a lot less issues like this because of that. But with that being said, there's a lot of things you could do. Like the security system, I believe it was one where you push a button and they get buzzed in. But hopefully that will not be an issue in the coming future. Because with that being said, people really need to get security in the schools, in the teacher's office, the principals, maybe even with the little people that help the kids cross the street. And, it's really sad to see all of these things happen. But the bottom line here is, this should have not happened. This honestly shouldn't have happened. And to those involved, to the families, this is the big problem. How are you going to explain this to your child that was not there, or even get a Christmas present that was under a tree and probably return it, or put it to their funeral on the casket, which is really hard. I don't even know how I would answer that. But again, some people say bad parenting. Some people say just the parents don't know what to do, which they don't know what to do, and I wouldn't know what to do either in this situation. It's very hard to tell this to a little child that does not understand, for example, why little Billy is not at soccer practice, or why little Billy is down taking a nap in their mind and has fucking Jello or has fucking ketchup on his mouth. When in reality, that's blood, and that kid was shot. That's an example. I don't know if Billy was actually shot or not. This is an example. But at the end of the day, my heart and prayers go to you guys. And honestly, proof's in the pudding. And honestly, that is not good look. Not good look. I cannot even talk. This does not look good in the sink. So, yeah, I'm just going to get rid of that. And, yeah. My prayers go out to you guys. Just sad that something like this had to happen.